great AFC versus NFC matchup here in Week 8 as the Baltimore Ravens travel to take on their second NFC South foe in consecutive weeks in the Carolina Panthers. In a battle of titans, let's take a look at some of the X factors in this ball game, starting with the Ravens. I'll look at the tight end position for Baltimore and see where they have the biggest advantage on offense in my opinion. Rookie Mark Andrews and veteran Max Williams and Nick Boyle all bring something different to the table as receivers, but are all very good and capable blockers as well. The Ravens will need them to be great on both ends in this game because, number one, they have the mismatch there in the passing game, and number two, they have to be able to find some semblance of a running game this week. The Ravens have struggled finding balance this season. Defensively, Eric Weddle is the biggest X factor as he's more than likely will have to be that alley defender versus the outside run and will, at times, draw some responsibilities as a spy versus Cam Newton. If he can defend the perimeter well and sort of keep Carolina playing between the tackles, I think that's a big-time win for this Ravens defense. For all of you fantasy football fans out there, check out my fantasy football content over at The Athletic. Just go to theathletic.com/fantasy and be sure to follow them on Twitter at TheAthleticFF. Moving over to the Panthers in this game, and it's all about sustaining drives on offense. The Ravens offense does a great job in doing this. Well, this game, it'll be up to the Panthers offense to keep the chains moving to beat Baltimore at their own game. Luckily for Carolina, they have the biggest X factor in this game in quarterback Cam Newton, who throughout his career has proven to be the one guy that's very tough to account for each and every week, and his ability as a dual threat player puts a ton of strain on the defense, and that strain has to be constant against the Ravens. Defensively, the biggest matchup that I'll be excited to see is between John Brown and Dante Jackson, the rookie corner out of LSU. Jackson is the only one in that secondary that has the speed to stay step for step with Brown, who is Baltimore's deep threat and leading receiver in yards and touchdowns, and having Jackson essentially take him away takes away chunk play opportunities for this Ravens offense, subsequently making them much easier to defend. Jackson will have to be a big-time player on Sunday. Be sure to check out Football Game Plan's Best Bets podcast, where our football game plan analysts Gene Clemens, Chris James, and yours truly will go through the upcoming week in college football and in the NFL and give you our best picks of the weekend against the spread. You can find it on SoundCloud. Just go to soundcloud.com/FBGP podcast, and you can find this podcast on iTunes. Just search Football Game Plan Podcast and be sure to leave us a 5-star rating. I like the Panthers in this game. Quietly, the addition of North Turner has balanced out this offense and has allowed Cam Newton to thrive even more so as the passer this season. They are a multifaceted attack with an aggressive defense to match, and they honestly resemble the Ravens in a lot of ways, except at running back and at quarterback, both of which will be the reason why they win this contest.